Back in 2001, LEGO was in the middle of a crisis. They were nearly bankrupt, and the company was running out of ideas for sets and themes to use in their product line. And while at the time they didn't own LEGO Star Wars, the licensing was not helping their situation as it was expensive to pay for. So, a man by the name of Christian Faber came to the LEGO team with an idea known as Cybots, a line of humanoid action figures with attachable limbs and ball and socket joints. Little did Faber know that this creation would lead to the saving grace that LEGO was looking for, but it would also become one of LEGO's most popular toy lines in the early 2000s, known as Bionicle. Sadly, I did not grow up with the franchise. I only got into it in 2010 when it was, ironically enough, ending. So, in order to do this review, I am going to need the help of somebody who not only grew up with the franchise, but also knows the lore of the series.
Never fear, Butter, for I am here.
No way! Is that YouTube sensation Star Weirdo? How did you get here?
You asked me to come.
I was just trying to spice up the introductions, I guess. I guess I overthinked it. Anyway, I would like to welcome my good friend, Star Weirdo.
It's a pleasure, Butter. And thanks for having me on the show.
Anytime. And now that we have introductions out of the way, how about we dive into the main topic at hand? Star Weirdo, why don't you start us off on your history with the franchise?
I've been a fan of the series ever since the beginning. When my family moved into a new house in 2001 and my uncle gave me a Toa Tahu, I don't know if he was aware of what he started, but boy howdy, he sure started something.
And that's where we'll be coming to today. With the help of Star Weirdo, we will be going over the history of the franchise, as well as the plot and how well received it is.
So, without further ado, let's roll.
Hey, that's my line. Anyway, hit the intro!
I'm bringing the butter, I'm churning my brain. Talking about stuff I love, yeah, that's my game. I'm bringing the butter, so pop some corn. Sit back and relax, cause you want more.
As I had stated before, my uncle gave me Toa Tahu, which ironically enough was not only my intro to the toy line, but also the beginning of it as well. Well, sort of. Bionicle actually launched toys before the original Toa. A line of Tohunga sold in McDonald's Happy Meals. The word for these villagers was changed to Matoran, over legal troubles that LEGO ran into with the Maori people. The fans lovingly referred to these first edition Bionicle toys as Mictoran. Cute, right?
Yeah, I'll admit, those are pretty cute. Soon after these Mictorans became a hit, LEGO properly released their line of Toa, each representing 6 elements: fire, water, ice, earth, stone, and air. These Toa would go on to become the protagonists of the series and the main heroes of the franchise, with each change in theme giving them different armor and abilities. However, not all of the Toa were the same people, as there were different Toas for each theme occasionally.
While the original Toa, known by the fans as Toa Mata, were created by the Red Star, don't ask, it's way too complicated to get into, and launched directly into the shores of Motunui, all the other Toa from that point onward were just simple Matoran that more or less hit heroic puberty, chosen by the Great Spirit to become Toa themselves and protect the good from evil.
Speaking of evil, you can't have good guys without villains, and while the villains of this series are a mixed bunch of different species and people for Bionicle terms, they all ultimately serve a main antagonist of the series, Makuta, the yin to Toa's yang, so to speak. His ultimate goal was to cast a shadow of evil over the island of Motunui, forever shrouding it in darkness.
Well, originally, in the Motunui Online game, Makuta was an unknowable, eldritch horror and the embodiment of deconstruction. Whenever something new was to be created, something old had to be destroyed to make parts for the new, which is essentially the whole LEGO process of taking apart, say, a car so you can make a cool boat. But with wheels. Later on, though, Makuta got a set of his own that was more overtly evil and shadowy, and a heck of a lot bigger, now donning the name Makuta Pterodax. Some fans call him Scary Terry.
However, even though Makuta was the main big bad of the series, most of the Bionicle sets contained his henchmen and other weird creatures who worked for him in some way or another. These ranged from the Borax, who could turn into balls, the Rahaki, who were basically anti-Toa with evil elements. Now, most of you are probably wondering by now, Butter, how in the hell do you know so much about the lore of Bionicle from just these toys alone? Well, to that, I hand it over to Star Weirdo.
They didn't just make the toys and hope they sold. No, that was the old Lego. This is the new Lego, with cool robots in a tribal setting, with spears and giant mecha. They had everything riding on its success, so they turned a toy line into a multimedia sensation. I'm talking video games, online flash games, weird theme park performances, movies, commercials that are just like movies, custom songs.
Yo, Baraka.
Some better than others.
Okay, this song is unironically the best thing in the entire goddamn world, and nobody can change my mind about it. I also blame Diamond Bolt for this. He's the one who got me hooked on this meme. God, I love this song so much.
Disagree! But anyway, LEGO pulled out all the stops to make sure Bionicle hit the market running. And hit the market it did. Big time.
Let's dive into one of these categories you mentioned. Movies. Bionicle had 3 full-length feature films. Bionicle, Mask of the Light. Bionicle, Legends of Metra Nui. And Bionicle, Web of Shadows.
Actually, there is a 4th movie called Bionicle, Legend Reborn, and it's
Can it, Gregory?
everyone's a critic.
Anyways, the movies were not only entertaining, but they were also full of voice actors who would come to have major roles or recognizable roles in their own television series, mainly shows like Ninjago and My Little Pony, as well as a couple other shows as well, here and there.
For video games, they actually had quite a few. Some were for the Game Boy Advance, but we got some bigger releases too, like Bionicle the Game for the PS2, and then later Bionicle Heroes for the PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, Nintendo Wii, and GameCube. Huh.
Bionicle also had its own comic book series written by Greg Farshtey, which was tied into the movie part of the series. It basically let us follow the characters we were introduced to after the events of the movies to let us know what happened to them. And from what I have been told, it was a fantastic addition to the series, letting both old fans and new experience the world of Bionicle and what it had in store for us, the viewers and collectors of Bionicle.
I still fawn over the sheer beauty of the artwork in those first few issues. Good golly, is that line work pretty, with vibrant colors that leapt off from every page. The characters all looked like their real-life figure counterparts, but with enough expression and movement to make them look truly alive.
Bionicle was also famous for its commercials. Now, I'm sure plenty of you have seen LEGO commercials in the past. They introduce the set line, introduce the set, have the character shout, "Hey!" Then the set builds itself, and the commercial ends. It's a quick 30 to 45 second thing. However, with Bionicle, no. That was completely different. Not only were the commercials a bit longer, some were way longer, going to 2 full minutes. They also felt like cinematic stuff. When you saw these commercials, you felt like you were there, witnessing the Toa fighting the big bad in search of winning the day.
Well, that's what separated it from other toy lines. Every ad had a story to tell in a short span of time, always accompanied by excellent rock music. Formula went so well, in fact, that they formed their own rock band specifically to make songs for these commercials. They're called Cryoshell, and they're still making music long after the franchise ended.
Bionicle's initial run lasted from 2001 all the way to 2010, when it was officially ended. However, the series definitely left its mark, as the theme of Elemental Heroes was most likely used to create one of their current most profitable and recognizable franchises, Ninjago. To say that Bionicle was just a franchise is an understatement. Bionicle was so much more.
Which is why I'm still a little salty that the LEGO movie just kinda glanced over it in half a second. You know your boy put in his vote during the anniversary ballot.
So, to put it simply, if not for Bionicle, not only would LEGO probably not be as big of a brand as it is now, but we also would not have gotten such an amazing series with amazing concepts and a fantastic way of showing the world that if you put your heart and soul into something, you can truly make something beloved forever. Thank you everyone for watching this video. I want to thank my friend Star Weirdo for co-writing and being featured in this video. He was the one who came up with this video idea, actually. It was a real privilege to work with him, and if you like what you see, please go check him out on his own YouTube channel, as he makes not only great content, but amazing music, including the amazing intro you just heard at the beginning of this episode. So I implore you to go check him out. Is there anything you want to say, Star Weirdo, before we finish off the episode?
Why did Matora have to die?
Yo, Paraka. Yo, Paraka. The king on the loose.